Ocean City and Vineland. High school football from Ocean City High School. Tony Blum along with Alex Connick. The national anthem just completed, and we're just about set for football on a blustery afternoon here at Ocean City. Of course, we're, a couple hundred yards away from the old Atlantic here, and the winds are coming off the Atlantic Ocean, but of course they are blowing cross field, Alex, so it's not like one team will be going into the wind, the other team will be going against it. It'll affect both teams, and of course Vineland comes in at 4-2-1, the Raiders at 2 up and 4 down. They will be kicking off to start the football game.
Getting back there deep for the Vineland High School, number 23 will be Chris Landy. Chris Landy, one of the deep backs. He's 5'10", 150 pounds. He's a D-back wide receiver. And number 46 for the Vineland clan, who's back there also deep. So you have two guys back there. This ball can go just about anywhere, as you mentioned, with this crosswind, Tony. So we're almost ready for the start of, again, an important football game for both schools.
All righty, just about set to get it underway. There's the kick. It's short. Taken by Willie Hill, one of the up people. Able to advance it a couple of yards to the 30 where he's chopped down. And Vineland setting up shop at their own 30-yard line. Setting the offense, Art Baruffi will be the quarterback. DeAndre Jones, Spencer Barriento, and Donnie Maven will be the running backs. Mike Malave will be the split end, and Dan Russo will be the tight end.
You look at the Vineland clan, you think of Ohio State, because of course those are Ohio State's colors out there, and come out in the open set.
The backs are split wide. Taking the snap back, Baruffi hands off right tackle to Maven, who bowls for a couple.
With that veer offense, Tony, what they try to do is, you try to break that quick veer right, veer left, see if perhaps the defense is in a slant to the strength, a slant to the wide side of the field, and that play can sometimes go for 2 yards, as it did on that situation, or sometimes for a 85-yard touchdown.
And you see Willie Hill is checked in. He brings the play in to Art Baruffi, the quarterback. Maven is on the wing to the right side. It's 2nd and 8 from the 32. Option to the right, the flip back goes to Spencer Barriento, looking to circle the right end, but Ocean City stringing it out and throwing him for a 2-3-yard loss.
Speed option to the right, where the quarterback gets the ball and just options that defensive end. That time, number 50, John DeAugustine, came from his nose guard position and made the tackle over there. Great pursuit by the nose guard of the Ocean City Red Raiders, and of course the whole Red Raider defense looking for that option.
So now 3rd and 11 off the loss of 3. They need the 40, the ball on the 29 of Vineland. Calling signals again, Baruffi. The pitch going to Maven, looking to circle the left end, making the turn, but he'll come up some 6 yards shy of the first down. And we'll have our first punting situation.
Good 3-play situation for the Ocean City Red Raider defense. I'll tell you, they did not allow the spark of Baruffi at quarterback the option to get outside. And when you run an option type and you throw the football, that's something that you want to take away early if you're a defensive unit.
So it'll be Baruffi doing the punting. There's the kick. It bounds down at the 45. Rolling around free and finally down at the 35-yard line. Looking at it was Stephen Adams for Ocean City, but he didn't want to touch it and risk the fumble. So Ocean City will open for business at their own 35, their first possession of the football game after holding Vineland.
They'll move it up to about the 37, because what happened, number 56 for the Vineland clan, it literally bounced off his leg, and so where he touches it is where the ball is marked in. So 1st and 10, as you mentioned, from about the 37-yard line. Let's see if the Red Raiders try to put together one of their classic power drives, Tony.
Tilly is the quarterback, Samino and McClellan the running backs. Back to pass, Tilly on first down, throws over the middle, incomplete, intending for Granger. At the 48-yard line, he was free in the dead spot of the zone, but unable to hold in.
Well, that's the classic waggle where you come across, you roll to the right and hit the receiver coming across to the left, and the receiver, as you mentioned, was wide open, and that's a pass that they'll probably come back to in the near future, because it was open and it could have been a big gainer for about 15 yards.
Heath Musley, Gabe Cimino, and Antoine McClellan, that is, are the running backs. It's second and 10 from the 37. The give straight up the middle to Musley. Musley finding room. He's across the 40 to the 43, picking up some 6 yards on the carry, and Musley can do it inside.
Well, you know, Musley, as we've seen before, is very deceptive. Not only is he quick off the football, but when he is initially hit by one tackler or two, he gets himself another 2-3 yards. So that's the quick trap off the wing tee, the fullback quick trap. And again, as you mentioned, they're just mixing it up very well here, and even without Davis in the lineup.
It's 3rd and 4. Rolling to the right off the waggle is Tilley. Being rushed, throws down the center of the field, intending again for Granger at the 40, but this time overshoots under severe heat from the Vineland clan.
And that time, of course, too, Granger was covered a lot better than he was the previous time. And you mentioned the all-important thing, throwing under heat. You know, Tilley did not have time to set himself up. When you're rolling like that, there is a tendency, particularly going to your right, to overthrow. When you roll to your left, you underthrow. But going to the right, you overthrow the receiver.
Valentine will be doing the booting from his own 32. Malcolm Reese in a single safety. Reese takes it at the 27, starts to his right, and he's tripped at the 30, falling forward to the 33, and we do have penalty markers on the play.
Yeah, that was a late flag, and you know, sometimes the officials' hands get cold, and it takes time to get it out of the pocket there. And the fans on the Ocean City side were, of course, hollering for the clip, and that's what it was. And that's you know, I'll tell you, in the college, the pros, and the high school ranks, that just kills you anymore. You can't do a punt or a kickoff return anymore, it seems, Tony, without an illegal block or a clip, either a 10 or 15-yard penalty.
Well, Vineland, after getting the good field position, now finds themselves in a hole at their own 15-yard line, where they'll activate the football. We have no score. 8 minutes and 10 seconds left in quarter number 1 from Ocean City. Vineland and the Red Raiders.
Hear that wind out there?
I hear it. Barufi with the long count. Barufi giving off, slanting off left tackle to Maven, but he gets just a couple, as Ocean City, not even a couple. They give him 1 yard, Alex, and thus far Ocean City's pursuit and their defensive line play on the runs have been excellent.
Well, against Holy Spirit last week, the first quarter, Holy Spirit could not move the ball against the defense of the Ocean City Red Raiders. And the other thing is, you can tell we're getting later on in the year, because at the beginning of the year, the grass is all nice and green, and parts of this field right now are bare, and it's hard out there today with that wind.
So it's 2nd and 9. The give straight up the middle. Big hole. Busting through there.
Inside trap.
Was DeAndre Jones. And Jones wrapping the football up. Does not want to fumble. And he has some size, does DeAndre Jones.
Let me tell you, he's a good football player and a good runner. He does not have exceptionally quickness coming off the ball, but I'll tell you, he runs constantly, shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage, keeps both hands on the football, and that was nothing more than a quick inside trap, and picks up the first down.
First down of the football game. Now the full house backfield. The ball is at the 28. Barufi to throw, rolling to his right, fires on the run, and it's complete. Complete to Russo on the right sideline, picking up yet another first down across the 45. They'll mark it at the 47. So now Vineland starting to mix it up after the success of the trap up the middle. Barufi pulls it down, rolls right, and finds Russo.
It was the same play action. You know, they faked the ball that time to Jones, number 41, and same play action. And, of course, Barufi rolling to his right, and it's a little easier to throw even when you do have the wind on a crosswind rolling to your right than coming back left. We got an official timeout. That's usually either the ball's not situated the way the center wants, there's some dirt on it, and that's what it looks like right now. The center comes on out, and you see some of this white dust there, and the powder from the field gets on the football.
Well, of course, as you mentioned, the middle of the field,
concrete,
is dusty. Backs are split wide. It's 1st and 10. They mark it at the 45 of Vineland. The give slanting off right tackle goes to Barrientos, and again finds good room inside the midfield line to the 48 of Ocean City. So Vineland now, after being stymied on their first offensive series, finding much success running the football against Ocean City.
That time they ran the inside veer. The veer man literally went right over the center because Ocean City was in a slant to the strong side of the field, wide side of the field, and they set up the option. He can come back right now and run the option off that same action.
Donnie Maven splitting out to the left side at 2nd and a long 5. The give off right tackle to DeAndre Jones, and he has stood up after maybe a pickup of 1 and thrown back.
And that's the veer. So that time, the first play they ran was the inside veer over the center. That was just a normal straight dive that they call veer right. And again, each time they run that veer, the back that doesn't get the ball, Tony, comes either to the side of the quarterback so they can set up the option play. The quarterback can fake the ball to that man and then either keep it himself or pitch it to the halfback and even throw it. So it's actually not a triple, it's a 4 option.
So it's 3rd and 5 from the 49 of Ocean City. There is no score. The pitch going to Maven, looking to sweep the left side. He's grabbed with his backfield, able to escape. Now cuts along the left sideline. He picks up the first down. Excellent running by Maven as he is now inside the 45 to the 41 of Ocean City, and the Raiders having him dead to rights, but letting him escape.
Brian Daly made a tremendous move, getting through, penetrating beyond the line of scrimmage, almost making the tackle, and the defense literally just stopped a little bit, thinking that the tackle was going to be made, and of course allowed the ball carrier to get that corner. Boy, that's a defensive coach's nightmare when that happens.
Of course, not only did he make an excellent run, but he picked up the first down. The ball marked at the 41 of Ocean City.
Quick screen right.
Throws to the right side. It's complete to Maven. Maven able to slip a tackle at the 40 and run out of bounds at the 36-37 of Ocean City. So Vineland now, Alex, starting to mix it up very well with the run, the pass, and Ocean City not being able to key on any particular area of offensive play.
And you don't know, sometimes that could be an audible. You know, Baruffi may have come out, and the rule may be that if you see the defensive back 10 yards off the ball, you can automatically audible and call that quick screen out there, hoping that he breaks free.
4:09 left, first quarter of play, no score. It's 2nd and 5. The give straight up the middle goes to Barrientos, and he pounds for 2 to the 35-yard line. So Vineland featuring power and passing on this drive.
Well, that showed you some of the power, as you mentioned, of the running backs of the Vineland clan. You know, that time they were hit almost on the line of scrimmage, and that defensive front of Ocean City is a good defensive front when you're running straight at them. You know, they've got some stability there, and they like to take you on man.
So this ball is marked at the 34 of Ocean City, 3rd and 4. Here's Baruffi giving off to Maven, this time looking to slant off the left side, but Ocean City there waiting for him. No gain, may have lost a yard, and he did indeed, may have lost 2.
Brian Daly again making the tackle from his defensive end position, and you know, he read that well. Now, one of the advantages of that is when you've got a defensive end that's crashing like that and makes a tackle like that, it's a great play. Sometimes, of course, the ball carrier can scoot and bake around the corner then, and if you've got no backfield support. So it surprises me they're going to go for it this early in the game in that position.
At the 37, off the loss of 2, it's 4th and 5. Baruffi rolling to his right, fires over the middle. It is intercepted. Intercepted by Ocean City, and the Raiders stymie the drive and come up with a pickoff.
Lynn Robinson, number 62 for the Ocean City Red Raiders, makes the interception. And you know, that time there was a little mishandling by the ball from Baruffi with the center, and he has gloves on out there. And you know, a quarterback with gloves sometimes cannot feel the ball immediately from the center. He had to hesitate for a second to throw the ball, and that may have caused the interception. But that's why I say sometimes you outthink yourself as a coach rather than just punting the football and getting him down deeply. Particularly, they have the wind going against them, Ocean City.
So the ball now marked at the 34 is Tilley giving off to Bouchard, looking to sweep the right side, but nothing doing as the Clan strings it out and throws Bouchard for the 5-yard loss.
Malcolm Reese making the tackle for the Vineland clan. That time the power sweep off the, the fullback makes the fake, they pull a guard, they run the power sweep, and if you can get the corner on the power sweep out of the wing tee, that's the secret. If you can't get the corner, and there we saw early that the ball carrier was not allowed to get that corner to pick up the yardage.
So Ocean City losing 5. Tilly rolling left with a penalty marker down, throws on the run. It's incomplete. Intending for Lipford at the 45, and this young man is going to be one heck of an end. He's only a sophomore, as Alex mentioned, transferred into the district, and he's been coming on of late.
One of the things they like to roll left, Ocean City, and of course in a few ball games they've been very successful. And again, the problem when you roll left as a quarterback is you have a tendency to ease up a little bit, and that time Brian Tilley just sort of put the ball up in the air just a little too much, and of course it would have been all for naught because they were in motion illegally.
Illegal motion, so the penalty will set Ocean City back to the 26. See where they mark it. Back to actually the 24-yard line.
About the 24 3/4.
All right.
That's where I have it.
2nd and 20. Tilly with a give straight up the middle to Musley.
Number 46,
This is a replica, both teams, of each other defensively. Both teams played a 52. And both teams are hoping that the calls are made very similar as the defensive coordinators. When you run that quick trap against that 50, you want the nose guard to either be slanting right or left, and hopefully because you get the quick trap block from the guard, and then the linebackers perhaps eagling down so that they're watching outside, and you get a quick 5 to 10 yards.
And Musley picking up some 5. So it's now 3rd and 15. The give off left tackle goes again to Musley, able to spin forward and pick up some 7, 8 yards to the 40.
That's the fullback power play where they give the ball to the fullback Musley. The halfback leads through, and they actually have an ISO block or a power block with the halfback and the offensive end on the defensive end. Good call here by Coach Degenhart. You know, you got to get the ball down there and hope for a turnover, even though he's going to be kicking against the wind.
Aaron Valentine to boot it. Gets the kick away.
Good kick.
High, twisting spiral. Malcolm Reese receives it at the 30. A fumble, a loose ball. It's recovered by the Ocean City Red Raiders. They not only looked for it, but they got it.
That's what I said. You got to hope for a play like that. When you get the ball up in the wind, sometimes the wind can do funny things, and sometimes with great punt coverage that the ball carrier right before he catches the ball, Tony, will look at that, that tackler for just a second, and it disheartens the defense because they thought they were coming off the field, and here comes the defense back on the field for the Vineland clan, and the Ocean City Red Raiders have the football.
And it does not look like they'll get a play off here, and they call the quarter over before Brian Tilley can get the play away. So, at the end of the first quarter of play from Ocean City, the score, Ocean City nothing and Vineland nothing. We begin quarter number 2 of the Ocean City Red Raiders off the fumble punt by Malcolm Reese, and the give straight up the middle is to Musley again, who smashes forward for 4, maybe 5 to the 15-yard line. And Musley seems to be, without Danny Davis, their most effective runner, and they probably are going to stick with it until they stop it.
Well, one of the things Musley has shown in the past is that he does not fumble the football. He's constantly trying to run and keep his shoulders parallel, but the big thing is he does not fumble the football.
Second, he picked up 6. 2nd and 4, now timeout called.
Officials timeout. He can't really go over to the sideline there, and he's trying to tell the quarterback that.
Now the clock put back in motion is Tilly getting some instructions from Coach Degenhardt. It's 2nd and 4 from just inside the 15. Ranger in motion to the left side. Tilly taking the snap back. Gives off left tackle again to Musley, and Musley carrying folks as he drives inside the 15 to the 14, and a penalty marker down as well. We might have a face mask.
Late penalty flag, and that's usually what it means. They're going to call the face mask there. Yes, it is, and boy, that's a tough call, because Musley, Musley got that penalty because he did not allow himself to go down. He kept running, and you try to bring the guy down anytime, any way you can. So face mask call, even if the hand goes over the front of the face mask and really doesn't grab him, it's still a face mask.
And they'll move the ball to the 7-yard line. So Ocean City with a 1st and goal from the 7 to Vineland. This all made possible by the fumbled punt by Malcolm Reese.
And you got 4 downs now to go about, 7 yards, Tony.
Tilly ducking in. The backs are split. He takes the snap back, gives off to Musley, who smashes off left guard. Look at him move that pile as they're inside the 5 to the 3, possibly the 2. Ocean City known for their power football over the years, and they're doing it vintage-wise this afternoon.
It's tough if you're on the radio to look at him move that line. You got to remember that now. You got to say, watch him move that line, or he's moving that line. I constantly have to, keep you educated on that. But you're right. He was hit almost at the line of scrimmage, and Tilly, had he kept the ball that time, could have rolled into the end zone untouched.
The ball is at the 2, 2nd and goal. Tilly ducking in, takes the snap back. Again handing to Musley, who pounds up the middle for just a yard, where he stood up and then swarmed under. And that'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 1.
Well, of course, if you're the Vineland Clan, the defensive coordinator is probably going to call a defense that tells everybody that Musley is going to get the football, and so when you need a yard, it's probably going to go to him, because he's already picked up 6 yards on 2 carries, so chances of getting another yard for a carry seem to be pretty good.
It's 3rd and goal from the 1. Ocean City knocking at the door. Opening moments of the 2nd quarter. They give again to Musley, goes to the goal line, no signal yet. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
They could not see the ball nor the ball carrier in the pile, and once they did, they decided he got over. Ocean City takes the 6-0 lead with 9:21 left in the 2nd quarter.
With this wind and the conditions out here, the first touchdown is very important, because it forces you now, because Vineland will have the wind not at their backs this quarter. There's the snap for the extra point. Perfect. Right through the middle.
Granger kicking it through. So, with 9:21 left here in this 2nd quarter of play, Ocean City taking the 7-0 lead. We'll be back in just a moment. Aaron Valentine to be kicking it away. Ocean City now leads it 7-0 with 9:21 left here in this first half of play. Correction on the extra point by Ocean City was converted by Brian Daly.
Big series here for Vineland, because they've got to answer this now. They moved the ball the last time, Tony.
A low line drive taken by Russo at the 20, circling back to the left sideline, now breaks out in the clear for the moment across the 40 to the 43, 44-yard line. So a nice run back by Russo, giving his club excellent field position.
He had a little seam there, and I'll tell you, had he made it past the last tackler, he had one more guy, which was the safety guy to stop. So gives Vineland good field position, and I can see now that a guy up here in the booth with us now has got to go out and stand in the cold with his wife. He was here until his wife came, and now he's got to go stand beside her. Chris Risden, ex-Ocean City High School football player.
Splitting out to the right side is Maven. The backs are in the pro set. Art Baruffi taking the snap on the option. The pitch back goes to Barrientos. Makes the turn along the right sideline. Has the first down and more. Looking to cut it back inside. And he's knocked down after the big gallop inside the 30 of Ocean City at the 29.
Well, that was the option, the speed option. And it's a difficult thing to defend because it all is predicated on the first couple steps that defensive end takes, And Baruffi has learned to run the option. And when you can throw the ball, when you've got a little speed back there with your backs, it makes it a difficult play. And Vineland has always run the option out of the split back series fairly well.
So the pickup to the 29 of Ocean City, the full house backfield now for the Clan. They trail it 7-0. Baruffi with a pitch to Maven, looking to sweep the left side, gets a good block, makes the turn upfield, along the left sideline, continuing, keeps his balance, and he's bumped out of bounds at the 5-6 yard line. So Vineland with two big plays, going from their own 44, now threatening inside the 10 of Ocean City, wasting little time.
No substitute for speed, is there, Tony? I mean, originally a great block thrown from the Vineland Clan by number 35, Chris Moore, which allowed Jones to get around that corner, and as you said, two plays, about 110 yards.
They mark it at the 10. Baruffi takes the snap, the pitch to Maven, looking to scramble right, fumbles the football, Ocean City falling on it, and the Red Raiders have thwarted Vineland again, or we might say that Vineland has shot themselves in the foot yet another time.
Well, turnovers, an important part of any football game. You make two tremendous offensive plays like that, you pick up almost 55 yards, and a turnover can kill you. Now what you have to hope for is that your defense keeps you back there, and it doesn't allow your defense to get depressed and down. But Vineland's going to call a timeout, and it's a good move, I think, by the defensive coordinator.
So, with a timeout on the field, 7:56 left in this first half of play. Ocean City leading at 7-0. We'll be back in just a moment. City, the Red Raiders getting their third turnover of the football game thus far, Alex. One interception and two fumbles. This one extremely costly as Vineland was right there at the 10, coughing it up, and Ocean City but able to recover both times.
Yep, and an important series now for the Ocean City Red Raider offense to at least get one first down before you have to punt the ball.
Tilly takes the snap back, gives straight up the middle to that man again, Mosley, and he picks up 2-3 yards.
That's what we said earlier, Tony. When you have a ball carrier like Mosley that you can give the football to, either going in from the 10-yard line and or going out from the 10-yard line, that you want a guy that does not fumble the football.
They give him a pickup of some 5 yards to the 12. It's now 2nd and 5 from the 12 of Ocean City. The Raiders leading at 7-0. Again, Mosley gets the call, pounds off left tackle to the 15, picking up a couple, and that'll bring up the 3rd and long 2 for Ocean City. The clock continues to run with just a little over 7 minutes left in the half.
And as we see, nothing fancy by the Ocean City Red Raiders. It's just a straight power play, giving it to the fullback, and hoping, as I said, that one first down really is an important series here because it takes another 3 minutes off the clock, and if you have to punt, you're not punting from your own end line.
Rick Lipford splitting to the left side. 3rd and 3. The give straight up the middle again goes to Mosley, and Mosley breaking tackles, continuing the gallop, picking up the first down across the 30 to the 34-yard line. And Mr. Mosley having himself one heck of an afternoon.
Well, as you saw there towards the end of the play, he hit one-on-one with the man in a straight-up position and literally knocked the defender over and had to be brought down by 2 other defenders. So there's no substitute for speed with the Vineland Clan, and then there's no substitute for a young man with the determination that Mosley has.
Well, again, Coach Dagenhart wanted to see that kind of play, and he's got it here this afternoon. From the 35, first for the Red Raiders. The give goes to the second man through. That was, check that, that was Steve Adams, pardon me, on the carry. And he picked up some 3 yards, so a little deception there by Tilley in the backfield, faking it this time to Mosley and giving it to the second man through, who picked up some 3-4 yards.
Right, running a slant off the left tackle there, as you mentioned, faking the Mosley first, because, you know, now 8 ball players on the Vineland Clan have to be looking for number 46 to get the ball each time, and you may even see a pass here yet.
At the 39, Samidi in motion to the left side, taking the snap as Tilley gives again off to Mosley. Mosley's got the first down, breaks out in the clear. He's inside the 40 and knocked down along the left sideline, inside the 35 at the 33-yard line. So Heath Mosley having a mega first half here at Ocean City, running with power and that time breaking it to the outside and finding room.
And, you know, as you mentioned early, Coach Degenhart needed a leader to stand up and take the leadership in today's game after that beating last week from Holy Spirit. And it looks like number 46, Heath Mosley, is the man. And, you know, Heath Mosley is a fullback junior, 5'11".
So it's another first down. They mark it at the 37 of Vineland. Again, Samidi in motion to the left side, off the fake, back to pass. Tilley throws deep to the left side. Lipford is there. Cannot haul it in. At the 10, possibly the 5-yard line of Vineland. Lipford reaching up with just one hand and unable to haul it in. It would have been a spectacular catch, but that young man is going to be around for 2 more years, and he looks like he's going to really be something by the time he graduates.
How about the way he grabbed the ball with the right hand and tried to tip it back to his body as he was going down? That's something that you just can't coach. That's just instinctiveness.
That's true. Some receivers just have that innate ability to play the position. 2nd and 10 from the 37. Samidi again in motion to the left side. The give again goes to Mosley, who bowls up the middle, and he picks up 2, maybe 3 inside the 35. Might have gotten to the 34.
Well, that time, of course, as I mentioned, it looked like 8 of the Vineland Clan were prepared to think that, you know, Mosley was going to get that football, and brings up an important drive, an important play here with this 3rd down, because you have a little longer situation that you perhaps want to give the ball to Mosley, but Coach Degenhart may think he's in the 4-down situation where he can give the ball twice for the running play.
Offset formation on the backfield as Tilley, signals being called, gives to the second man through. Antoine McClellan finds room inside the 30 to the 28, but looks like he is close to the first down, but would be a yard shy. But again, there are penalty markers down on the field as McClellan slants off right tackle, and Vineland appears to be happy, so it must be against Ocean City.
Yeah, it's illegal motion against Ocean City, and it's going to send him back, and that was a nice play and a nice pickup by McClellan, and they would have put him in a situation to go for the 4th down with Mosley. It's not real hard to call this game so far today, but Ocean City has taken some time off the clock. 4:39 left to go in the 2nd quarter. They've averted, as you said, some disastrous things down here on the goal line, getting another turnover. So Gary Degenhart's got to be real happy right now with the play of this young team here.
Lipford is checked in. He, the wide receiver. Granger also in there, who was open earlier in the game, but a couple of passes were overthrown. One was dropped. Back to pass Tilley. The jump pass over the middle is complete for the first down to Lipford. Lipford continues inside the 30 to the 26, 27-yard line, and picking up the first down on the 4th down. Check out the 3rd down play, and it depends on where they mark it. From this angle, it looks like it's going to be very close, and they will have to measure.
And of course, it all depends upon the left foot, right foot spot, and where the ball is right now, it looks like it may be a first down by an inch, but no matter what, they're going for it.
Boy, you are incredible. You have bionic eyes, huh?
Well, we're just here looking here, and let's see, and it is a first down by an inch. It's just an amazing, as you mentioned, an old guy like myself being able to pick that up on an angle.
I didn't know. I was working with quite
Lee Majors.
Machine.
Lee Majors. That's it.
Yeah.
Lee Majors.
Right.
First down situation, Tony, for the Ocean City Red Raiders. And, they can eat off just about, as I mentioned, 3 minutes off this clock. And if they were lucky enough to get a score, it's going to be real tough for the Vineland Clan.
The ball is marked at the 27. of Vineland. Ocean City up 7-0. The give goes to Musley, slants off left tackle, and it picks up some 4 or 5 yards. And again, the thing you see there, Alex, is that offensive line of Ocean City pushing the pile backward, and Musley taking advantage. Aggressive play by the offensive line.
And something that's very, very important, it says something about the coaching staff of Ocean City and the ball players out there. You know, when you come off a 56-21 defeat, it's cold out there today, but that's basically wing T football, power football. It's a lot harder for the Vineland Clan to run option football than it is for the Ocean City Red Raiders.
Lipford splits to the right. The rest of the backs are in the full house. Calling signals again is Tilley, gives to the second man through, that's Adams. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, did well to do that.
That was the slant play that they were running now, where you're faking to Musley and trying to hope that everybody comes in, that particularly that defensive end, give the ball to the halfback, and he can scoot around the end and pick up the yardage. Again, we're in that third situation. So last time they threw the tight end pass, the dump pass to Lipford right over the middle, and that's a play that Ocean City has liked in the recent weeks here, where he just stands up till he just stands up and throws the ball. And it brings up a situation where we know they're going to run the ball for the first down anyhow in 2 plays.
We'll see. The ball at the 25. It's 3rd and 8. They lead it, does Ocean City, 7-0. Here's Tilley. The long count. The give straight up the middle goes to Musley, who struggles for a couple at best. Nowhere near picking up the first down, but that'll bring up a 4th. And we'll call it 7. Dagenhart playing it conservative right there, not looking to put it up for grabs, and Ocean City no doubt going for it here, as you mentioned, on 4th down.
And you know, this is a crucial play for the Vineland Clan, because if you have to go in 7-0, rather than either 10 or 13 or 14-0 if they were to try a field goal later on if they get the first down. So you go in 7-0 with that option top team, as we saw, they can pick up a lot of yardage quickly.
So here's Tilley dunking in. The backs are split wide. He rolls left, getting protection, fires on the run, incomplete. Intended again for Lipford at the 20. So Vineland is held, they'll take over, but without much time in which to work. Just 1:35 left here in this first half of play. And I guess you could say, Alex, that Ocean City's offense did the job. Time of possession, keeping it away from that offensive Vineland, because the last time the Clan had the football in 2 plays, that is, they moved it some 60 yards. So they're dangerous.
Exactly. And the last time that they had the ball, there was 7 minutes and 45 seconds to go on the clock, and there's 1:35 to go now. So they've got a decision to make. Either take it into the locker room 7-0, or perhaps try a couple deep fly patterns.
Ravens split to the right side. White to the left. Back to pass Barufi. The screen to the left side. Complete to Malcolm Reese with a blocker in front. Cuts to the left sideline. He's got the first down and more. Nearly outrunning 5-6 of the Ocean City Red Raiders, who were in pursuit. And Reese brings it to the 40 of Ocean City. And as we just said, Alex, does not take long for Vineland to move the football in big jumps.
Well, you saw the speed of Malcolm Reese there, taking the quick little screen pass, watching his blockers, picking up his blockers, and then hitting that corner and picking up another 15 yards on his own, walking the sideline rope. And I'll tell you, it's tough like that when you've got the speed, and now they've got 1:23, and they're not that bad of a situation if they can pick another 20 up here.
At the 45 of Ocean City, and Reese also getting out of bounds to stop the clock. So here's Barufi. Barufi gives straight up the middle for a couple. Not much more. Looked like Mariento on the carry.
That call is a little questionable, hoping, of course, to break the fullback wide open, thinking that they're in a passing or an option situation, and you hope that the fullback breaks it through for a 15, 20-yard pickup. But it eats the time off the clock, particularly when you don't call a timeout. So now they're in a spread formation.
Maven split to the right side. And left is White. Back to passes Barufi. Barufi sets up, throws to the right sideline. Nowhere near the intended receiver, Maven, who had hooked up at the 30, far over his head.
That time, as you mentioned, the receiver hooked out, and Barufi just threw the ball over him, and possibly maybe to throw the ball away, because there were 2 receivers in the vicinity, 2 defenders in the vicinity there. So 48 seconds to go. One of the advantages that does stop the clock, but it brings up a 3rd down situation.
The ball is at the 44 of Ocean City. The Raiders leading it 7-0. The offset eye of the backfield. 3rd and 8. Off the play fake, back to pass. Baruffi throws in behind Russo, who was wide open at the 37 of Ocean City. Would have had the first down, but thrown behind him.
And I think if he would have had another half a second and thrown deep to the receiver, number 88 for the Vineland clan, Dan White, he may have had him deep also. So here's the 4th down situation, 43 seconds to go, and what the Ocean City Red Raiders have to do is hold them here and then just go into the locker room, 7-0.
Maven splits far out to the left side. White is also in a tight formation. Back to pass is Baruffi. Throws to the right side for Andre Jones. It's complete, but cutting down Andre Jones was Heath Musley, doing it on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Well, I'll tell you something. We don't know the outcome of this football game right now, but I will tell you the outcome of the first half. The Ocean City Red Raiders have done what Gary Degenhardt asked them to do and what he mentioned to you early in the interview when he had with him before the game. They have played with intensity. They have played with Vineland here right now, and Vineland has moved the football in certain situations, but the all important thing is that you got to get over that that goal line.
So Ocean City now with the football at their own 43 as Tilley runs into his own backfield bait, and still the Raiders able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. That was Musley again, and it's been the Heath Musley show here in the first half as time expires in this first half of play. So we're at halftime here at Ocean City. The score, Ocean City leading it 7-0, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Okay, we're coming back here in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Welcome back to Ocean City High School Field. Tony Blum along with Alex Connick. Just a few minutes away from starting half number 2 with the Red Raiders holding on to a 7-0 lead in this first half of play. The big difference in this first half has been turnovers, with Vineland losing 2 fumbles and 1 interception. And Vineland lost that second fumble when they were on the 10-yard line of Ocean City, apparently going in for the tying score. Some statistics for you in the first half of play. For Ocean City, Heath Musley, 15 carries, already 101 yards. For the team, Ocean City, 19 carries for 99 yards. Brian Tilley, 1 for 4 for 13 yards. For Vineland, as a team, 14 rushes for 88 yards. And their leading ball carrier, Donnie Maven, 6 carries, 34 yards. And Art Baruffi is 4 for 7 with 1 interception for 53 yards. So Alex Connick, as a former high school football coach, come out here in the second half. You've got to tell your players, look, guys, all we got to do is hang on to the football, and we can win this. We've moved it very effectively, big chunks of yardage, but we've coughed it up in critical situations.
Yes, that's for sure. And number one, though, I don't want to be any part of plagiarism. Those statistics were not taken by you. They were provided by the gentleman from the Vineland newspaper. We have to give credit because you seem to think like that you had those things down to the T. All right, so we got to footnote that. And
I have some other statistics, though, that are...
yeah, but they were for last week's game.
That's right. These are originals.
Right. But you're right, Tony. Important drive for both teams now. Ocean City, if you remember, Vineland won the toss, did not defer. They elected to receive and take the win the first quarter. Ocean City now gets the football. Vineland gets to decide where they want to defend. And again, looking out there at the flag is still that crosswind coming across from the ocean on towards the mainland. So a big drive. You know, Vineland's got to stop him. They've got to not allow Musley to control the line of scrimmage. And as you mentioned, 101 yards already. And you cannot allow him to do that. They've got to stop Ocean City, make them punt the football. And they are going to take the win in the third quarter. So what they're hoping for is that they get a good kickoff, hold Ocean City for 3 downs and a punt, and then Ocean City will be forced to punt into the wind. But that's when Vineland fumbled the last time because the wind caught the football, and and the punt returner looked just prior to catching the punt at the tackler coming down at him.
Fiacchi will be kicking it off for Vineland. They'll be defending the goal to our right. Ocean City sends Lipford and Adams back in twin safeties, standing at their own 9-yard line. So we're just about set for the kickoff here in this second half of play. 7-0. Ocean City leads it.
Do you have our 50-50 tickets?
I do.
Okay, our 50-50 tickets.
Yes.
All right, so I just wanted to make sure so that...
so if the lottery, we win the lottery, it's our lottery.
Ours. We are a team. I mean, and I know you... I'd just give you the money to, get it put in CDs for us.
Fiacchi with the kickoff taken by one of the up people for Ocean City at the 30. He's across the 30 to the 35-yard line. And Ocean City, good field position to start off this first drive of the second half. And is that Musley limping?
That is Musley limping, and that's not a good sign. And, one of the things is that the bad part about this weather, and there's one of the trainers, Drew Breckenridge, going out, the head trainer, and, of course, Dr. Rehnquist walking out with him. But what happens is in weather like this is you stiffen up on the sideline sitting there, if they bring Musley over to look at him. And but it looks like it just seems to be a little twist. He's just, or maybe even a cramp. So
he looks like
he's in good shape.
Yeah.
Let's see if the Vineland clan can stop the Red Raiders from running the football here early in the second half, Tony.
They open for business at their own 35-yard line. Samini in motion to the right side. Tilly takes the snap back off the option, breaks one tackle, grabbed in his backfield, looks to shovel it forward, rolling around 3. Let's see how they call it. They say Vineland has recovered. It almost looked as if Brian Tilly was looking to lateral the football, Alex, but only Vineland clan surrounded it. And not a good play by Tilly on that particular option. He was cornered and then coughed it up.
And where the turnovers hurt Vineland in the first half, the first play of the second half, we have a turnover. And as you mentioned, this is an opportune time now for the Vineland clan. And they went into a 6-1 on defense that time to take away Musley.
Here's the power I formation. The pitch goes to Malcolm Reese looking to sweep the right side. He makes the turn, has room. Malcolm Reese inside the 25 to the 21.
Momentum is a big part of any football game. And right now, the momentum part seems to be on the Vineland clan. They pick up 9 yards on that first down, and if they can score and get their momentum going again, the Ocean City Red Raiders, the youth of the team, will really have to come out then.
Splitting far out to the left side is Danny White. Full house backfield. Barufi takes the snap, gives straight up the middle. A big hit after a pickup of a couple, but the pile continues to surge forward.
As you mentioned, the big hit. The second hit came in there, and let's see.
DeAndre Jones on the carry.
They have spotted the ball for a first down, and it's going to be a 1st and 10 situation for the Vineland clan. What is that, Tony, on about the 17 there, 17-yard line?
That's what it looks like. Splitting far out to the left side again is Danny White. The rest of the team is tight. First at the 17 for Vineland. The give goes to Malcolm Reese with a juke step. He's past the line of scrimmage, keeps his balance inside the 5, and finally hauled down at the 4 for yet another first down. So just as they did in the first half, Vineland picking up big chunks of yardage. And the hope here is that they won't turn it over.
That inside veer that right over the center. And then, as you mentioned, the ball carrier just jukes on his own, looks for an opening, and that time takes the ball down to where it's a 1st and goal situation.
1st and goal for Vineland. At the 4, they trail at 7-0. Opening minutes, 3rd quarter. The pitch to Vineland's Maven, looking to sweep the left side, makes the turn upfield, and a penalty marker is down as he takes it to the 1, but we'll have to see what this is right here. And as you can see, it's a holding call against the clan. That's gotta hurt.
Well, the clan has done just about everything they can to stop their own drives, whether it be a fumble and now just a tremendously bad holding call, because if the ball carrier had not scored, he was on the goal line, for the next play. So that's a real momentum killer right there, and it gives the Red Raiders an opportunity to stop the Vineland clan, even though it'll be a 1st down again now.
The ball's moved back to the 16-yard line. So 15 yards against Vineland. It would have been 2nd and goal from the 1. It is now 1st and goal from the 16. Maven sets on the right wing. The rest of the team is tight. Barufi, with signals being called, rolling right, looking to throw, fires on the run. It is.
Great catch by number 40 for the
It is caught by Russo at the 2.
A great catch because Barufi allowing for the wind a little bit, I think, and of course on a roll. But it was a sliding catch. It was like an outfielder's catch where he's sliding as he's catching the football.
So Barufi able to roll right and able to hook up with Russo, and now again 2nd and goal from the 3.
We need to get the ticket out.
Calling signals is Barufi. Barufi giving off to Malcolm Reese, slants off left tackle, and no signal as of yet as he goes just to the goal line.
Well, he's as close as you can get, and you'll see the spot there. He's about maybe a half a foot off the goal line. Our cameraman up there in that wind and chill, getting the getting some great shots for us, and we forget about those guys that have to sit out there in the cold.
So it's now 2nd and goal from the 1. Danny White splits out to the left side. Calling signals is Barufi. The give straight up the middle to DeAndre Jones. No signal as of yet.
Okay by DeAndre Jones.
There's a man injured on the play.
So he did not get in, DeAndre Jones, and as Alex mentioned, an injured player for the Vineland Clan. While they tend to the injured player, with 7:47 left here in this 3rd quarter of play, and Ocean City leading at 7-0. We'll be back with more in just a minute.
And you don't want to say that is that they would have the ball, Ocean City, on the goal line, but let's see what they do.
Power I formation. Here's Barufi with the signals being called. Gives off to Reese. Reese gets in. Touchdown. Slanting off right tackle.
And what you saw is the defensive line of Ocean City really thinking that either it was going to be a quarterback sneak or a quick dive to the fullback. And now what do you do, Coach Blum? Don't be hesitating. Do you go for 2 or do you go for 1? 7:33 left in the 3rd quarter, and that brings the score Ocean City 7, Vineland 6, and it looks like the Vineland Clan will go for 2. Let's see here. And that's what they're going to do.
All righty. So Vineland on the road looking to take the lead. As Barufi ducks in the I formation, the pitch goes to Reese. He may throw it, sweeping the right side, gets to the goal line, and he gets in. It is good.
That's a great job by Reese. And you mentioned he may throw it, and that hesitated that cornerback just a second, and then Reese darting for that piling. The piling that is 18 inches high. I didn't know if you knew that or not. 18 inches, that's how high that pylon is there. Okay?
You're incredible.
And it brings us to an 8-7 score, the Vineland Clan. And after a tremendously difficult holding penalty, which set them back to a 1st and 15 situation, and then speed itself, bringing the ball down near the goal line, Tony. And now the young team of Ocean City must respond because they have done a tremendous job so far. Let's see if the injury to Musley, if he's able to run the football, and it looks like we're in for a good football game here, the remaining quarter and a half.
Well, there's 7:31 left here in this 3rd quarter.
The wind really now is, if you look at the flag out there, Tony, it's really blowing now.
Donald Button gets it off. Low line drive, hit by one of the up people and fallen on by Ocean City, and they will have excellent field position starting out this drive at their own 48-yard line.
I don't know if that was intentional or not, because what it does, if it's not, if it's not an intentional onside kick, as you mentioned, it really gives you great field position for your offense to start there on about the 47, 48-yard line, and Coach Degenhardt's got to be real happy with that situation.
They mark it at the 48. And it appears Musley is back in the football game. Ocean City now trailing it for the first time. The give goes to McClellan, sweeping the right side, picks up a couple to the midfield line, then he's spun down along the right sideline. Willie Hill coming up to make the hit.
Malcolm Reese didn't make the tackle, but Malcolm Reese was responsible for McClellan slowing down just enough for Hill to come up there and stop that gain, and for more than just a 1 or 2 yard gain. So a real good play by number 22 Malcolm Reese as he sped up there to almost make the tackle. 2nd and long.
Lipford split to the left side. The backs in the pro set. Tilley, long count. Takes the snap back, hands straight up the middle to Heath Musley again. He picks up 3 more in a cloud of dust.
What Vineland has done is they have gone into a 6-1 defense. 6 men now are down on the line of scrimmage, Tony. And then they have a middle linebacker sitting back there, number 40 that time, as you mentioned, Russo. He is just keying Musley, so that it's like a shadow, what they used to do with Cunningham. In other words, 6 men on the line of scrimmage. That eliminates Ocean City from pulling a guard in trapping situation. And you can see right there's 6 guys who go down on the line of scrimmage, and there's number 40, Russo, just keying and looking right at the quarterback through Musley.
Tilley rolls left off the fake, being rushed, now reverses field, throws deep down the right sideline, intended for Samino at the 20, inside the 20, actually at the 15, but again, Tilley had to heave it under pressure, and it falls incomplete.
And luckily it was thrown, not a real good pass, because the Vineland defender had stopped for a second because he thought the ball was going to be stopped by the wind. And in actuality, had the ball been thrown just a little better, it would have been a completion. So the Vineland Clan defense did what they had to do, and that was to stop the Ocean City offense from getting the first down. And there's a bad snap with the wind.
Aaron Valentine cannot haul it in. It's rolling around free and picked up by Vineland. And they again have a turnover, their 2nd of the second half. Turnabout is fair play. The Clan committing 3 in the first half to Ocean City's none. And now Ocean City with back-to-back turnovers.
And number 54, Aaron Valentine, the intended punter, is down. He took a real good shot when they were moving as the ball was going on the ground. And he may have taken, a real good shot from the back of a helmet. Not intentional, where they were going for it, they recovered the fumble, but Washington Redskin, Houston game, special teams. Here's another situation, turnover, and a turnover on a special team. So we've got a young man down, so we'll take a short break here. From Cary Field in Ocean City, 5:34 to go in the third quarter, 8-7. We'll be right back.
Back here at Cary Field, Tony Blum along with Alex Connick, 5:34 left in this third quarter of play on a very blustery, chilly day from Ocean City. And as we mentioned, Aaron Valentine being tended to after having the football hiked over his head. Race back to recover it, but the Clan there to recover, and Ocean City putting themselves in another precarious situation with their 2nd turnover in a row here in this second half. So again, one of the intangibles, you just can't coach this type of thing. Vineland had their problems in the first half, and now Ocean City coughing it up here in this second half of play.
Right, and when you have a team that relies on power and, taking time to score touchdowns, turnovers hurt you more than what it does with a team that runs an option and throws the ball, Tony. There you see, Aaron Valentine coming off the field, being helped, and it looks like it's either an ankle or a knee as he was going down and a player fell on him. So let's hope that everything's all right for Aaron Valentine. Back to the football game, 1st and 10.
The ball's marked at the 30-yard line of Ocean City. Split left is right. Fumbling the snap from center is Barufi, but able to fall on it and keep possession for the Clan.
That was the full house backfield, and they were going to do the pitch that they've done to the fullback with the halfback blocking for him, the other halfback trailing the play just in case there's a fumble like that. And again, good reaction by Barufi just to fall on the football, bringing up a 2nd down rather than a turnover.
Donnie Maven checks in, and Spencer Barriento goes to the sideline. Again, the full house backfield is now 2nd and 11 from the 31. The give off right tackle goes to Maven, finds much room. He's inside the 25 to the 24. Maven, not the biggest, but very quick feet, finds the hole very quickly.
And the Vineland offensive line have found something that, wasn't going in the first half, and it looks like the right side of the line now has said, hey, we can run the football over here to the right.
So Maven picks up some 7 yards. The ball now marked at the 24. It's 3rd and 4. The full house backfield. Here's Barufi, takes the snap. Barufi giving off to Barrientos, smashes off left guard, picks up the first down as Vineland continues to find room in that Ocean City defensive line, this time working the left side.
Maybe you could give the offensive starting line for the Vineland Clan, who right now have taken control of the football game.
Love and O'Neill are the tackles. Janarone and Brooks are the guards, and Donald Bolton is the center. Barufi, of course, is the quarterback. Now the full house backfield. He takes the snap back. Barufi with the option to the right side. He's grabbed at the line of scrimmage and may have stumbled forward for a yard or 2.
That was the option out of the full house backfield, and Barufi deciding not to pitch the ball. You're down in that situation where, you're inside what they call the red zone, the 20-yard line in. This is an important, opportunity for the Vineland Clan, getting the opportunity, as we mentioned, on the turnover on the 4th down punt attempt for the Ocean City Red Raiders.
They mark it at the 16, so he picks up a little better than 2. It's now 2nd and 7. Barufi takes the snap, fakes to the running back, rolls right, fires on the run. It is incomplete.
Incomplete, attempted for number 35 for the Vineland Clan. Barufi that time rolling to his right, trying to throw the ball to Chris Moore, and it's tough for a quarterback that it's not Chris Moore. It's Barriento, I'm sorry. Moore and Barriento, look, they're saying they all begin with a B, right? But it's tough as a quarterback to throw. If you don't turn your shoulders right at the time you're throwing the ball, Tony, and with this wind situation, so it's an awful lot to ask for a quarterback today.
At the 16, 3rd and 7. The full house backfield again. The pitch goes to Maven looking to sweep the left side. He makes the turn along the left sideline, and he'll be shy of the first down, picking up some 4, but he'll be shy of the first down by 3, possibly, they call it 3 yards now. So it's 4th and 3. The Clan, no doubt, will be going for it here in 4-down territory.
And the advantage of this, if you do not score, if you do not get the first down, is that Ocean City gets the ball deep in their own territory with 2 minutes and 44 seconds. If they can hold them, they'd have to punt against the wind. So good situation for the Clan. There's a timeout being called by the official, and again, there may be some dust or something on the ball, and that's what it is. They're looking at the ball and making sure it's in the center, likes it certain ways, the grip on the ball.
Well, they can turn it, can't they?
They can come out and turn it 1/2 a turn. They can't pick it up at any time. And if it needs to be picked up, they have to call the time.
So it's 4th and 3 from the 12. The pitch goes to Malcolm Reese, who's swarmed in his backfield, reverses his field, now back the other way, juking along the right sideline, and he's grabbed and run out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17. So Ocean City holds, and they'll take over on downs, although the confusion on the pitch to Reese kind of busted up the timing on the play.
Again, it's either Barufi coming out too quickly and or the gloves. So you don't feel the ball with the gloves on. And, it's good for a quarterback, to have warm hands, but sometimes not feeling the gloves, the ball against the hands, causes that ball to you don't put your fingers around it quick enough.
So Ocean City holds in a key defensive series for the Red Raiders. The ball now marked at the 18-yard line. They trail it 8-7 after leading 7-0 at halftime. Here's Brian Tilley. Brian Tilley giving off to Musley. Breaks out in the clear. Musley along the right sideline has one man to beat. He's across the midfield line, still on his feet and run out of bounds at the 42-yard line of Vineland. So the big run from the 18 to the 42.
A tremendous play by that young man there, number 46, who's a fullback, and a good-sized fullback also. Heath Musley, a fullback, 11th grader, 5'11", 195 pounds. And I'll tell you, there once again showed his quickness, Tony, to bring the Ocean City Red Raiders out of the hole.
40-yard gallop by Musley. At Ocean City now inside the 45 to the 43 of Vineland. Calling signals as Tilly again gives straight up the middle and rumbling for 5, 6, 7 yards more is Musley.
And when you've got a good thing, stay with it. Why go away from something? Because, and I don't want to be the kiss of death or anything, but as I say, not only does Musley gain the yardage, he does not fumble the football. And in today's game, we've seen how important turnovers can be to decide this football game.
1:44 left here in this third quarter of play. Vineland stopped Musley in the previous 2 series, but he's come back to start doing it again. Here's Tilly. Takes the snap back. Looks for Musley again. Fumbling the football is Ocean City.
Looks like Vineland's going to get it. I think Vineland's going to get it, Tony.
They are.
Yep. The last group of the arm. And you know what happened that time is that, as the quarterback came back to give the ball to Musley, they were hit. The ball actually jumped up in the air. Ocean City Red Raider had an opportunity, and right at the last possible minute, a arm got in there. So that's a 6th turnover of this football game. 3 for Ocean City, 3 for Vineland, and 2 of them fumbles for Ocean City. So playing an important part of this game.
That's right. They've coughed it up 3 times as Ocean City in this second half of play. So Vineland at their own 33-yard line. Here's Art Barufi giving off to Barriento with much power and much size. He slants off right tackle and picks up some 4 yards.
What you'd want to be now, what you'd want to happen if you're, Coach Ron DeRucci, is that you want to put together about a 6 or 7 minute drive, because 43 seconds and counting down into the third quarter. But, you're not in a situation now where you want to throw the football. You want to run an option here, perhaps pick up a first down and put together a 6 or 7 minute drive, Tony.
So a pickup of 4. The ball now marked at the 38. Barufi giving off to Malcolm Reese. Reese slants off right tackle, picks up 5, but he'll be just shy, it appears, of picking up the first down. And Reese has that elusive moves.
The spin, too, right. And we're seeing some good backs here. Vineland's got 3 backs that can run the football and move. And of course, Ocean City is dependent upon today Heath Musley, because Danny Davis not being in the football game. And now it looks like nothing's going to be run here. It's the end of the third quarter.
That's it, the end of the third quarter of play, with Vineland leading Ocean City 8-7. We'll be back in just a moment.
4, 3, 2.
We begin the fourth quarter of play with Vineland looking at a 3rd and 1 from their own 44, enjoying an 8-7 lead. A power I formation. In motion to the right side is Barriento. The give straight up the middle goes to DeAndre Jones, and he stood up right at the line of scrimmage and thrown down. He may not have made it.
That's going to be close. Where the spot is, though.
He's got it.
Right. Yeah. Where the spot is, they're going to give him the first down. And, that's one of the things in high school football, but even in pros and colleges, that, see, the ball carrier was attempting to gain yardage and literally lost yardage after his initial thrust. And a lot of people feel that you should not be given the point. You should be given where the ball ends up because of safety, though. And I see you shaking your head. You don't agree with that, but you constantly usually don't agree with anything that's got any common sense to it. You're a radical.
Jim, I'm just so glad you never speak your mind. Calling signals is Barufi. Barufi fakes to the running back to pass, throws over the middle, intending for Russo at the 47, incomplete. But as Alex mentioned, he did have a man deep.
Number 88 for the Vineland clan.
Danny White.
Danny White. And I'll tell you, he had just broken free. He had a step on the defending back, and if he had gone there, it possibly was another 6 points. But no harm done. 2nd down and 10, and still good field position for the Vineland clan. And once again, if you look up at the flag, it is still blowing out there.
2nd and 10 from the 45 of Vineland. Splitting left is White. The backs are split wide. To the right side is Barriento. Back to pass is Baruffi. Baruffi throws to the left side. Looked like attempted screen, but Ocean City all over it. They smelled it out. And, of course, Baruffi also under intense pressure had to get rid of it in a hurry.
That time, Joe DeAugustine for the Red Raiders defense, he plays nose guard. As you mentioned, when Baruffi was throwing the ball, DeAugustine was on him. And it felt like, they had 12 players on the Vineland Clans team. Third down situation. And, again, the Clan would like to get another first down and keep this drive going.
Split to the left is White. In the slot left is Barriento. The backs are split wide. Again, Baruffi is back to pass. He fires over the middle. It's complete to Barriento, who rumbles inside the midfield line to the 44 of Ocean City. Check that. That was number 23, Chris Landry. My apologies.
Well, you can't say enough for that run, because when he caught the ball, he had picked up 4 yards. Had he stayed outside, he was tackled. He stopped and made a move inside and picked up another 7 yards on his own, and that enabled the Vineland Clan to get that first down that they needed desperately to keep this drive going.
Danny Maben's on the wing to the right side. The backs line up in the eye. The give goes to Malcolm Reese, slanting off left guard for a couple. Carl Dyke in there to make the stop, along with Robinson.
You show a little pitch action that time, Baruffi, because they like to run that pitch off the power eye offense and then just throw a little draw in there, which he did, and to take away the pursuit of the Ocean City Red Raider defense.
Left is White. Again, the full house backfield, 2nd and 8 from the 43 of Ocean City. Baruffi giving off to Maben, looking to sweep the right side, makes the turtle on the right sideline. He has one man to beat. That's Lipford, and Lipford grabs him around the shoulder pads and rips him down, but not before he gets to the 10-yard line of Ocean City. Let's see where they're going to mark it. They're going to mark it right at the 15.
Did you see that speed? See, there's no substitute for speed. Number 46, Donnie Maben, took that corner, and had it not been for that shoulder pad tackle by the safety man, he was gone. And that's, again, there's no substitute for speed, Tony, when you hit that corner.
Of course, also, they did collapse that side of the line very well.
Oh, yes.
Full house backfield at the 15. Vineland threatening again. They lead it 8-7. Taking the snap back is Baruffi. Gives off straight up the middle of Malcolm Reese. He busts inside the 5, and he's finally knocked down at the 1.
Great run by Malcolm Reese. Almost fumbled the ball there going through the line of scrimmage. The ball almost came free, but I'll tell you something. Nothing more than a straight-ahead dive play to Malcolm Reese, and the Ocean City Red Raider defense has its hand full right now with a 1st and, I guess, a yard to go for a touchdown, 1st and goal, because it's getting down 9:41, 9:40 to go in the 4th quarter.
It's 1st and goal. The quarterback sneak. Baruffi takes it, and it's a touchdown. However, it'll be brought back.
Yep, illegal motion. Nobody was set with the exception of the quarterback, and he went down too fast, Tony, and ran the ball because the line was just not set in enough time. And you can see some of the offensive linemen, and it wasn't their fault because they were just getting down, and Baruffi ran a silent quarterback sneak. Well, that works after the linemen are down.
So the ball moved back down to the 6-yard line. 1st and goal now from the 6, so a little different strategy here.
Yeah, and, where you had the touchdown, an easy, safe call. You had the touchdown, quarterback sneak, usually no fumble that way. And here, this time, you've got it where it's, as you mentioned, 6 yards to go.
So 1st and goal from the 6. Ocean City trails it 8-7. Vineland looking for more right here. They give us to Reese, looking to slant left guard. Now takes it outside and is cut down after a pickup of just 1 to the 5-yard line.
That's real good defense by the Ocean City Red Raiders. I mean, they came up, they attacked the ball carrier. The right defensive end took the block, and it's going to be a timeout.
So Vineland calls the timeout with 8:55 left in the football game. They lead it 8-7. We'll be back with more in just a moment. 5 left in this football game. The Ocean City Red Raiders on the short end of an 8-7 score. And again, Vineland threatening. The ball
at the 5-yard line. And that penalty certainly very important to Ocean City, as they were at the 1, would have scored, but the illegal motion cost them 5. So it's now 2nd and goal from the 5. I formation. Taking the snack, Barufi, he gives to the second man through. That's Maven, has great blocking to the right side and goes in easily, untouched.
Great blocking, as you said.
And good ball handling there in the backfield by Barufi. He faked to one man, then gave to Maven, who came off the left wing and scored very easily.
Little reverse action and a tremendous block thrown by number 72 for the Vineland clan and number 40. Now, I know 40 is Russo, and number 72 for the Vineland clan, Dave Geranarone. Is that how you pronounce that? How do you pronounce that? Janarone, right?
Janarone.
Right. And I'll tell you something, 6 foot, 193-pound offensive tackle, and man, he just threw a tremendous block.
And once again, they'll go for the 2-point conversion. Split to the right side is Russo. The backs are split wide. Barriento in the slot to the right. On the pitch, Reese. Now he'll throw back to Barufi in the end zone. Deflected and nearly caught by Barufi. And this must be, they've been watching the NFL.
Well, that's a sweet, bright throwback. Remember, what's his name? John Elway caught his own pass a few times. Caught the pass a few times. And Janarone's an offensive guard. What's that mean when you do that? That means we're going to break for commercial?
Exactly.
Janarone's an offensive guard, not an offensive tackle. And if you're an offensive guard, you don't want to be called an offensive tackle, see, because guards are much smarter than offensive tackles. So
now that you've used up our allotted time for a break in the action, we'll just have to keep it right here, sir.
Well, it was a good drive put together by Vineland clan, taking advantage of a turnover, as we mentioned. And when you're a good offensive football team and you're on the road, you have to be able to take advantage of those types of situations. And, you know, now with 8:49 to go, of course, though, with the 2-point conversion in high school football and even college football, Ocean City's not out of it, because 7 ties them, 8, they win it. So the game's got a lot of action yet to go. 8:49. They have the wind at their back, not as strong, but it's still blowing, as we can see the fans all, huddled up here trying to keep warm. But they do have the wind.
Fiacchi will kick it off. Coming up for it is Adams. Fumbles the football, now picks it up at the 15. He's straight up the middle, and then he is collared at the 25.
Number 81 for the Vineland clan. A real good hit, Tony.
That's Mike Malave.
I tell you, he just came down there, broke through the wedge, and just made the tackle. And, when you're called upon on special teams to do something like that, it just gives your team a lift. And now the Ocean City Red Raiders take the ball. They've got the ball on roughly the 27-yard line. They've got, 73 yards to go for a touchdown with 8:27 to do it in.
In motion to the left side is Semino. Calling signals as Tilley. Gives off to Heath Musley, who pulls off left tackle and picks up 3, maybe 4.
And once again, they're in the 6-1 defense, as I mentioned before, 6 down linemen. And by doing that, you go face up over the guards, face up over the tackles, Tony, and that eliminates those offensive linemen pulling that the wing T likes to do. So what it actually is man-on-man blocking, giving the ball to Musley, and Musley seems to have a little limp as he comes on out of that huddle.
7:50 left in the football game. At the 31, it's 2nd and 6. Back to passes, Tilley rolling left, makes the turn. Tilley to the 35, he's bumped out of bounds at the 36.
At that time trying to, make the fake, roll left, hitting the receiver deep, but Tilley decided to try to pick up the first down himself, and he almost did, bringing up that 3rd and short situation. And again, a lot of time to go. They don't have to panic at all. 7:39 to go in the 4th quarter.
Lipford checks in for Ocean City. Antoine McClellan also in, and now Adams will come in, and McClellan goes to the sideline. It's 3rd and 2 from the 36. Calling signals as Tilley gives off to McClellan, hit right at the line of scrimmage, head on, and then falls forward, but he'll be shy of that first down marker.
That time, number 81, the same gentleman who made the tackle on the kickoff, and Mike Malavi brought down Musley as soon as he hit the football, as soon as he got the football, and in actuality may have lost a little bit. So it's going to be a 4th down situation.
So they'll be going for it, Ocean City.
This is the ball game here. This is the ball game. This is it. This is the game.
One more time.
This is the game.
Brian Tilley getting the play from Coach Degenhart. Slot formation to the left side. 4th and 1. The give goes to Musley, slanting off right tackle, fumbles the football yet again, and Vineland says they have it, and they do.
There's the 4th fumble, the 4th turnover for the Ocean City Red Raiders. 3 of them fumbles, 1 of them a fumbled punt, attempting the punt, but it goes down as a 4th turnover, and it looked like Musley would have had the 1st down because they did not run him straight up the middle. They ran him on a slant to the right side, and it's unfortunate because he's a great football player. He's a great young guy, and nobody feels worse than he does right now.
So 4 fumbles for Ocean City in the second half, and that's the difference in the football game right now. At the 36, the give goes straight up the middle to Antoine Jones, busting out in the clear. DeAndre Jones, and he is rumbling along the left sideline inside the 10 to the 9. So right now, Ocean City just a little demoralized, I'm sure, with that fumble, the 4th of this second half.
And there's a real good stat for you that, again, the reporter from the Vineland paper just handed us.
7 carries for 55 yards for Musley in the second half. The rest of the team is a collective 4 for a minus 22. First down at the 9. The give again goes to DeAndre Jones, slanting off left tackle, breaks a tackle with his size. The penalty marker is down and rumbles to the 5, maybe the 4 along the left sideline.
That's usually a holding call, Tony, when it comes from that situation. And let's see what the referee here is coming over. It is a hold, and again, it moves the Vineland clan back, 5:44 to go. And again, another important call that, kills your momentum. The last time Vineland was, able to overcome that holding call, but that touchdown there or that situation would have put them right there where the game would have just about been sealed.
Well, with just 5:44 left in the football game, and Ocean City trailing it 14-7. If they could hold them right here, they still would have an opportunity to win the football game, as you mentioned, with a 2-point conversion. So we thought that was the football game, but if they hold right here, they at least still have an opportunity.
That's exactly right. And DeAndre Jones, number 41, is only a sophomore. So they've got some young ball players. You see a lot of 10 and 11s up there on that program. You don't see many 12s.
And he's 5'11" and 225.
About my size.
And he is in the football game right now.
First down situation now. The referee coming out to do some explaining to Coach Degenhart. I like the way they put their hands, see how they fold their hands there and look very professional. And, usually what they're saying the coach don't want to hear anyhow. And he's trying to be nice and, act like a gentleman and everything. So we can see this situation. And here again, we see looking at the flag that's still going out there, and it has gotten colder throughout the afternoon, and fumbles sometimes because of that. Again, we talk about gloves, but then the hands get, numb, and you really can't feel the ball and hold the ball as tightly as you want. So, again, Coach Degenhart discussing it diplomatically, but you lose, and that's the end of that story here.
The question is, what are they discussing? The ball is marked right now at the 10-yard line. There was a holding call.
Maybe some time with the, discussion with the time on the clock. Maybe some discussion on who do you like, Florida State, Miami next week, in the ball game, where you going to dinner tonight. You never know. TV time. They want TV time.
Well, they mark it at the 10-yard line. So I don't know what happened to the penalty, but we'll have to see if we can get a clarification. The give again goes to DeAndre Jones. No off the fake. Marufi keeps it rolling right now. Fires on the run. It is intercepted. Off the deflection in the end zone for a touchback.
Well, there we go. As we said, it's still anybody's ball game, and that probably was one of the mistakes that Baruffi wishes that he had back, because he should have not thrown that football, and of course it was deflected into number 55's hands.
Matthew Osteen making the pickoff off the deflection, the tip drill, which I'm sure you had practiced every day when you were coaching.
Now Coach Degenhardt's out there again, and you know what they're going to do? They're not going to call it a touchback. They're going to give them the football on about the goal line, and they're saying that it is not a touchback. His momentum took him into the end zone. All right. So this is not a real good break for the Ocean City Red Raiders.
And they are hot, to say the least.
Oh, they are very hot, and they won't be talking about where they're going to dinner.
So at the 1-yard line, Ocean City has 99 yards to go. Taking the snapback is
and that
Tilly.
Could be a safety.
And he fumbles the football. He's checked that, not fumble the football, but he's grabbed at his own end zone. And that is the safety, and Alex, right there, the marking of the football results in 2 points.
That's what Coach Degenhardt was politicking for, and it's a call, it's a judgment call. And if you're on the opposite sideline for the Vineland clan, you love the call. But if you're the Ocean City staff, and what they've got to do now is to make sure that they can keep their cool, and the staff on the sideline keeps their cool, because it's not their job to arouse the ball players by, they've got to listen to the call. Right, wrong, or indifferent, the call was made, and it's now a safety. And an important call, because it now makes the score 16-7. 2 points do not win the football game, so you need 2 scores.
So little things in a football game can make such a big difference.
There it is. And it won't show up in the box scores, right? And it looked like they were going to have the ball in a touchback. In fact, the one receiver gave the touchback call. So that's what happens. As you say, it's a game of inches.
And decisions.
And decisions.
The difference between having it on the 1 and resulting in a safety, and having it on the 20 and being thrown for a 2 or 3 yard loss. It's as simple as that.
And Coach Degenhardt still talking to the official, and trying to get an explanation for himself. That's all. He's pleading a case, but you can see Coach giving that one of the men said it's a touchback, but he can be overruled, because that's not his call. And the officials did work, together. So here we go, 16-7, 5:29 to go.
And Brian Daly will be kicking it off, not punting it, from his own 20. Landy is one of the receivers on the punt. And it looks like Malcolm Reese is the other. Kicks it along the ground. It pops up into the air. It's taken by Barriento, one of the up people, at the 32, and he's down immediately, looking to angle for the left sideline. So again, Vineland in great field position at the 32-yard line of Ocean City.
And now, of course, what they want to do, it's hard to do it this way, but you'd like to take about 4 minutes to score. And if you don't score, you'd like to get 2 first downs, because that's going to eat up just about most of the 5 minute and 12 seconds to go in the football game.
So Ocean City now trails it 16-7. They need 2 scores to win it. Very unlikely. Baruffi giving off to Reese, spinning away inside the 30 to the 25. Picks up some 8 yards.
As you mentioned, Reese constantly moving forward, Tony, and you saw that little spin move again. And the impressive thing, too, is keeping both hands on the football, not allowing that football to get knocked out, because you don't want to turn over here, because this is, right now, you're just putting the nail in the coffin.
Clock continues to run. There's 4:30 left in this football game. The backs are in the full house backfield. The give goes off to DeAndre Jones, looking to buck up the middle now. Changes direction, slides to the left, but he is grabbed after a pickup of a yard, maybe 2. And for his size, DeAndre Jones is agile, has quick feet.
And there's the difference, though, between a sophomore running back and a senior running back. Reese going forward, shoulders parallel, and that time DeAndre Jones tried to get a little bit too much east-west instead of north-south to pick up that first down. But as you mentioned, he's going to be a good little running back there.
But at 225, I don't know how little he is.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Full house backfield, it's 3rd and 2. The give is to Malcolm Reese. Uses the blocking beautifully. Has the first down. Breaks a tackle. Goes to the goal line, and he goes in. Touchdown. So Malcolm Reese set his blockers up so nicely there as he slowed down, let his offensive lineman get a block.
Got a penalty flag down here, and again, that's one thing you don't want to happen. You want the tempers to stay cool, and it looks like it's going to be against the the Ocean City Red Raiders. Let's see.
Well, it was a 25-yard run. The penalty is declined, and it is a touchdown.
And see, you can't say enough again. And here's now an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty thrown by the on the Ocean City players. And this is what we were talking about earlier. This is where the coaches come in, Tony. You've got to keep control, and you've got to keep control of that football team, because that's it's a silly penalty, and it's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty thrown against the team. And here we have 3:41 to go in the fourth quarter, 23-7, and of course now the Vineland clan will go for 1.
Randy Fiacchi will be kicking it. Soccer-style kicker. The teams are lined up and set. The ball is snapped, it's high, put down and booted, and it is no good with a flag down on the play.
It's motion against the Vineland clan. That'll be declined. And getting back to the call the call that's been disputed down there, the touchback call. Of course, it's not to say that Ocean City would have scored the winning touchdown. All right, but it's the point that they would have gotten the ball on the 20-yard line. Yes, they still would have had 80 yards to go. Brian Tilley can throw the football, as we've seen. Musley can run the football. I don't think they would have stuck with Musley, trying to put together that type of a drive. But it's demoralizing, and it makes the game to where now, a mere 2 minutes ago, it was a 8-7 game, or a 14-7 game. It's now a 23-7 game.
That's right. All you ask is for an opportunity. That's it.
And it was taken away.
There's a big difference between, and the difference, not only was it a big difference, Alex, but I think that the difference was magnified by what happened. By putting it down on the 1, it resulted in the safety.
Next play to safety. Right. Exactly. And again, things that won't show up in the press box and the score box, but it happened.
So Fiacchi will be kicking it off high, and it's taken by Litford at the 10. Litford straight up the middle across the 20 to the 30, and finally is knocked down at the 35.
And 3 minutes, 33 seconds to go in the football game, and it looks like Ocean City's going to lose their 5th game of the year, and Coach Degenhardt will be 2-5, and then of course Coach Ron DeRucci will become 5-2-1. That's 5-1. That's 8 football games, right? So then they must have a week off prior to the Thanksgiving game.
Yes, he did mention that they do. So off the line of scrimmage, Ocean City at their 35. Tilley takes the snap, looking for the jump pass, instead finds his receiver covered, and then able to struggle forward for a yard, and penalty markers coming in again.
Face mask call. So they're going to pick up some yardage here. Wow, there's a nice stat for you again. Second half total offense. Vineland 179 yards, Ocean City 32 yards. So again, they would have had the ball on the 20. Whether or not they would have scored, we don't know. Even as much as I see into the insight in the future, I probably could not have predicted whether or not they were going to score.
Face mask penalty is marched off against Vineland, moved to their 48-yard line. That's their 4th penalty of the game.
Clock moving now, Tony. 2:57 and counting.
At the line of scrimmage, the Red Raiders. Taking the snap back, Tilley. Back to pass. Stays in the pocket, fires to the left sideline, intending for Granger. But Tilley under pressure and throws high at the 40 of Vineland over the head of Granger.
As we mentioned, Vineland now will have and actually it's more than a week off because you have that extra time then before Thanksgiving. So, it's close to 2 weeks off that they will have, maybe a little longer, because Ocean City now plays Cumberland, who as of today, without the results, have not won a football game. So that means they're competitive. They can win that game. They're 2-5, and then, of course, their Thanksgiving game this year becomes Middle Township.
Back to pass again is Tilley. Throws to the left side. Screen pass completed to Antoine McClellan with 2 blockers in front. Along the left sideline has 1 man to beat. And knocked down inside the 20 at the 19.
And no flags, and a real nice play. Tilley waiting till the last possible minute to throw the ball over to McClellan, who has been silent today because, they've worked with Musley, and the first 3 quarters that was working. Musley was carrying the football, no turnovers, and then, of course, Musley had an all-important turnover there towards the end.
So they mark it right at the 20-yard line, and again, that safety, so important. Ocean City, without the safety, would have an opportunity to take the lead right here. But the ball's at the 20-yard line. They still do need 2 scores to take the lead.
And, of course, the clock running, which is all the most important.
Taking the snap back. Tilley, back to pass.
Hit.
Being rushed, and he's dumped. Coming from his blind side.
Number 68 for the Vineland clan.
That's Joey Phillips.
Joey Phillips, and I'll tell you, he just put a whooping right there on Brian Tilley. And if from his dead side, and I'll tell you something, you get a guy like that, and he's got a clear shot, a legal clear shot, and those are the kind you hope for when you're a defensive lineman.
And those are the kind that keep you up at night if you're a coach.
Yeah.
And you're a quarterback.
That's for sure.
So a loss of 7. Back to the 25, back to pass. Tilley throws to the right side to McClellan, and he's grabbed just as he gets the reception, and he lost 3 more.
Malcolm Reese that time, number 22, sort of shadowing, McClellan, not allowing him to run the screen successfully as he had done right prior to that. I got problems with those C's and those S's when they come in that succession right there. But minute 4 to go, clock running down, 22-7. It was a much better football game. One of these games that, you look at it tomorrow's paper, it says, hey, it wasn't even close. This was a good football game. Heath Musley had a great football game, and the 3 running backs from Vineland really put together a nice performance.
Taking the snap back is Tilley, gives off to McClellan, looking to throw the option, and he is buried before he can get it off. Coming smartly across was Adam Vinnick. He also had help. But that time, McClellan, no chance at all. Vineland smelling it out. And Ocean City down to 22 seconds in this football game.
You may as well just wait and not even come back on out, to why take a chance on a 4th down of getting one of your ball players hurt. That was going to be a throwback to, to Brian Tilley that time. But, just the game's over and you got next week, so why take a chance on anybody getting hurt?
Here's Tilley. Rolls left, and again he is grabbed and thrown down as Vineland totally disregards any threat of the run, and that's going to do it. That's the end of the football game. So Vineland improves to 5-2-1. Ocean City falls to 2-5. The final score, Vineland knocking off Ocean City 22-7. We'll be back to recap it in just a moment.
10 seconds. All right, we're coming back to recap the score.
Back here at Ocean City, Tony Blum along with Alex Connick, where the final score 22-7. Vineland knocking off Ocean City. The Red Raiders drew first blood with Musley taking it in from 1 yard out. The extra point was good, and it was 7-0, and that's where we stood at the end of the first half. In that first half, Vineland coughed it up twice on fumbles and threw an interception, and that was a big part of the Ocean City Red Raiders leading at 7-0 at halftime. But in the second half, a different story, as Malcolm Reese scored from 1 yard out. The 2-point conversion by Reese running the football was good. That made it 8-7, Vineland on top. Maven with a 5-yard run, and the 2-point conversion was no good. And it was now 14-7, Vineland on top of Ocean City. Then the big play, or one of the big plays in the football game, is an interception by Ocean City. Making the interception for the Red Raiders was Matthew Osteen, and one of the officials said it was a touchback. He was overruled. They placed the ball down at the 1-yard line, and on the first play from scrimmage, Chili's tackled for a safety. That made it 16-7. Then Malcolm Reese with a 25-yard gallop to finish the scoring. Fiacchi was no good on the extra point, and that's where we ended at 22-7. It was a game of two halves. In the first half, Vineland, 2 fumbles and an interception. In the second half, Ocean City coughing it up 4 times on fumbles. We could say, though, that Musley had an excellent game. Over 160 yards in the football game. Just wasn't enough.
Just wasn't enough, and again, turnovers play an important part of a football game, and as you mentioned, Tony, 2 halves, you know, both teams playing 2 different halves, and you can still, the fans can still hear the wind out there blowing. It was that type of a football game, whereas the cold weather may have had something to do with the type of turnovers that they had towards the second half. But a good football game, you know, both teams playing good, hard football, and the young team of Ocean City still out there in a group. Coach Degenhardt trying to keep them, you know, keep their spirits up, because the next 2 games they can win. They can win the Cumberland game. They can win the Middle Township game. And of course, you don't have to get any inspiration for Vineland's next football game, because it's Vineland-Millville.
All right, so once again, the final score from Ocean City, 22-7. The Red Raiders knocking off, check that again, the Clan knocking off the Red Raiders, 22-7. 5-2-1 for Vineland now, and 2-5 for Ocean City. For Alex Connick, my broadcasting partner, this is Tony Blum. So long for now.